Spring has sprung, and for many of us, so has the allergy season. It might be a time for warmer weather and working in the yard, but it can also be a time for increased sneezing, runny noses, and itchy eyes, along with all those fun symptoms. So here with some tips for this allergy season is our allergist, Dr. Asif Khan with the Asthma and Allergy Center. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
You're welcome, Meredith.
Great to have you.
Thank you.
I want to say this year's winter was pretty harsh. We had freezing temperatures. We had a decent amount of snow. We're turning the page into spring now. Does the winter season have any effect on how the spring allergy season plays out?
Oh, it sure does. The amount of snow that we got this year wasn't a lot, I would say, but it was consistent. And one of the problems that we saw was that we would lose that snow after like a week or two. It would go to like some higher temperature and then go back down. And what that does is it sort of like primes the entire like growing season for the next year. The rain today might help, some people with their allergies because it does wash away some of the pollens that have already come out. Tree season has already started, and you'll see some of the buds coming out. And we've already seen a lot of patients that are coming in with like symptoms just every day. So these cold weather spells with rain should help you a little bit, but there's another subset of allergy sufferers that might have their allergies increase, and those are the mold sufferers. So
okay, we'll definitely get to that in a minute.
Yeah, that's interesting, yeah.
For those more kind of up and down winters, like we've had the consistent snow with the warm-ups every now and then, does that make allergy seasons more severe than a milder winter?
Well, one of the reasons is that the temperature overall is generally warmer now, and because of the fact that we live in a very sort of wet region, it is going to be a pretty bad season. I have a feeling we're going to have this rain for another month or so. That's pretty bad like this, probably every week or so. But I have a feeling that this season is going to be bad because we saw like really warm weather in February already, and we were seeing people with symptoms then, but then it went away, then again, and it just goes back and forth. That's a little too soon for this area.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So with all this rain that's in our forecast, definitely for this week, but maybe over the next month, April showers, right?
Yeah,
Spring,
exactly.
May flowers,
Yes.
and probably more allergies. But does that rain also kick up any of that pollen and dust from these already budding trees and plants?
It can. It sort of charges the ground, and all of a sudden, we're going to have an inch and a half or so this over the last 24 hours or so. In the next couple of days, if it's warm, over 55, I mean, the trees it's just like a sort of a pollen bomb, I guess. It's going to be pretty intense.
And you said you were already seeing people every day. You said you're expecting this year to be worse for mold allergy sufferers. Tell me about that.
I have a feeling that the wet weather has a tendency to increase mold spores. And if we see more of that wet weather than we do, generally speaking, in terms of how much rain we get, mold sufferers, outdoor mold that we're talking about, right? There's also that indoor mold as well in your basements and things. That's not really what we're talking about. There's a whole other sort of mold exposure that happens during this time of the year. Because of this wet weather, and it probably will be pretty bad this year. I hope not, but our office is already seeing an uptick in the amount of patients that are coming in. So,
and what can we do to hopefully avoid some of those symptoms and maybe lessen that burden on your office a little bit?
Yeah, so I would probably recommend over-the-counters. There's lots of them for you. You've heard of all of them. I probably won't list them here, but the idea is to start using them as soon as you can in terms of the season. The season's already started a little bit, but you're still kind of in that gray area. So you have a couple of weeks, maybe a week or so, to start those medicines. And you want to do that before it starts, not after, because now the cat's out of the bag, your symptoms are started. You're kind of playing catch up when you start using the meds in about a couple of weeks or so. So start them now.
All right, then I guess it's perfect timing that you came in today.
And I appreciate you inviting me.
Of course.